Greetings, salutations, respect and love. I am Scott. You're in the Prog Corner. Today it's all about 2014. Not a great year for prog, but there were some really good releases. So I'm going to run through these as fast as I can because I know these videos tend to go a little long sometimes. And it's not like anybody's watching these things anyway. So, you know, whatever. At number 25. We're going to start with Rishloo, and the album is called Living as Ghosts with Buildings as Teeth. These guys are from Seattle, and they sound a whole lot like Mars Volta or At the Drive-In. They've got that real modern, heavy sound, but they're really cool. I'm waiting for a new album from these guys. It's been 8 years. I guess they're still together, but this is their latest. At number 24, the Barracuda Triangle. These are three guys from the Flower Kings getting together, doing some jazz fusion stuff. It's pretty great. Thomas Bodine no longer in the Flower Kings, so this was the last Flower Kings related release with him on it. At number 23, going to Canada with Monarch Trail and Ken Bard's first album as Monarch Trail. The album's called Skye. It's really great if you like keyboard-driven prog, classic prog. Monarch Trail is fantastic. At number 22, Ian Anderson's solo album, Homo Erraticus. This is kind of a precursor to what we heard on the Zealot Gene. A lot of the same players on it. It's got a similar vibe, but Ian does some really cool things on this album. It's actually a really good album. I like it a lot. At number 21, Mexico's finest prog band, Cast, and the album Arsis. This is sung in Spanish, whereas some of their other stuff is sung in English, but either way, it doesn't matter. Cast is a phenomenal band. At number 20, the supergroup, the Flying Colors, their second album, Second Nature. This is the band with Neil Morse, Mike Portnoy, two dudes from Dixie Dregs, Dave LaRue and Steve Morse, along with Casey McPherson on vocals. They play a very pleasant, FM-inspired prog. It's good stuff. I like it. At number 19, Bjorn Reese. The dude from Airbag, his very first solo album, Lullabies in a Car Crash. His style is very chill and atmospheric, but there's really great melodies to be found on here. At number 18, Boston's Bent Knee with Shiny Eyed Babies. I love these guys. They're really crazy, really hard to pin down exactly what they are. Are they prog? Are they alternative? I don't know, but the vocals are so good and the songs are so bizarre. I really like what they're doing. Number 17, Tiger Moth Tales' first album, Cocoon. Pete Jones is becoming a monster in the prog scene. His work with Camel and Cyan, etc., etc. If you don't know Pete Jones, this is a real great entry point to his music. Very early Genesis flavored, I guess. At number 16, Norway's Gazpacho, one of their better albums, Demon. These guys can do no wrong. Every one of Gazpacho's albums is really solid. I like them quite a bit. At number 15, we're staying in Norway and we're going with Motorpsycho. This time it's Behind the Sun. Yeah, this is just another example of Motorpsycho just being a band that every single thing they release is different than what came before, but it's all fantastic. At number 14, Italy's Syndrome with Odysseys. I like these guys a lot. They sing in English. Marco Minimum's on drums on here, so that alone is worth the price of admission. Their latest album, Kama Sutra, almost made my list for 2021. It was like one of the first cuts I had to make. I like them a lot. At number 13, Canada's Druckfarben, their second album entitled Second Sound. Man, I really like these guys. I wish we'd be hearing something new from them, but that's obviously not going to happen. Their lead singer, Phil Nero, died last year, or I think in 2020, I'm not sure. What a great loss. What a terrific band. I really like that album a lot. At number 12, Glass Hammer with Ode to Echo. This was the first one with John Davidson no longer in the band, although I think he sings on a song or two. Glass Hammer is just so consistently good. Every year I do these lists, if Glasshammer's got an album on the docket, there's a real good chance it's going to make the list. At number 11, I've got the Pineapple Thief and Magnolia. Bruce Sword's outfit started painting with some different colors on this. Maybe they're trying to sand down some of the edges a little bit and be a little bit more accessible. It still sounds a whole lot like Porcupine Tree, but Magnolia is a really good album. The songs are just great. At number 10, we're going with a Gusa instrumental band out of Sweden, and they are just amazing, terrific band, very retro, a lot of vintage instruments. I just love their sound. It's terrific stuff. At number 9, going to Italy and the FEM Prog band. The album is Sulla Bolla di Sapone, and these guys just came from out of nowhere. I'd never even heard of them before. I checked out that album just on a whim, since it was Italian prog, and I like Italian prog. This album's amazing. The instrumentation is great. I guess these are some fairly young cats doing the prog thing, so that's really exciting whenever, somebody who's not in their 70s is doing progressive rock. Yeah, great stuff. At number 8, Dave Bainbridge and Celestial Fire. The Iona Axeman is just so tasty. Everything he plays is just amazing. He's so underrated. I just did my top 25 prog guitarists, and I omitted him. I should not have. I'm actually a little surprised that none of you people called me out on that. He's that good, and this is probably his best album. At number 7, the Samurai of Prague and the Imperial Hotel. This is where the Samurai of Prague became a real band with some originals on here. Obviously, the Imperial Hotel was a song by the great 70s band England. All of Samurai of Prague's earlier stuff were all prog covers. From that moment, after that moment, they started to do a lot more originals, but the Imperial Hotel is just fantastic. You've got a drummer from Finland. You've got the violin player from the US. You've got the bass player from Italy. They're an international concern. They're fantastic. The Samurai of Prague. At number 6, I'm showing the vinyl up there. Oh man, 7 Impale, the album City of the Sun. You got those crazy squonking horns going on. They kind of remind me a little bit of Shamble Maths, maybe a little bit like Knife World, but this is an Italian band. They sing in English. The singer actually sounds a little like Adrian Belew sometimes, I think. I don't know. But the whole album is fantastic. Really, really good stuff. They put out a second album after that. I didn't like it quite as good, but this album is phenomenal. At number 5, Capo with Satig. I really enjoy this album. The first 2 songs on this album are probably my 2 favorite Capo songs. They Can Do No Wrong. They keep releasing album after album, and I like them all. Really solid. Their new one just dropped last week. If you don't know Capo, this is an excellent starting point. At number 4, how about Opeth and Pale Communion? This was the second of their clean vocal albums after Heritage. Thank God they've been going down this path with their last couple albums since this, but I think Pale Communion is the best of the clean vocal albums. The songs are really interesting. It's still heavy in spots, but the melodic ear that Michael has is just phenomenal. Obviously, this whole time he'd been wanting to do records like this. I think this is really what Opeth is all about. I love this album. At number 3, back to Italy with Logos and L'Enigma della Vita, the Enigma of Life. These guys dropped a masterpiece a couple years ago. This is their second album. It's almost as good. Some people like it better, but I don't. I just think it's just a great album overall. It brings back a lot of the symphonic sounds of the 70s, but married to that beautiful RPI style that Italian prog rockers have been employing for over 50 years, and I just adore it. At number 2, Transatlantic with Kaleidoscope. This was their fourth album. I actually did a ranking the Transatlantic albums recently, and this one came in last place, but it's number 2 for 2014. That just tells you how incredibly great Transatlantic is. It might also give you a clue that 2014 might not have been the best year for prog. I don't know. I love Transatlantic. I love this album. Yeah, but there's one album that really rose head and shoulders above the pack in 2014. And if you're a prog fan, you probably know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's IQ, Road of Bones. It's their masterpiece. It's the best thing they've ever done. You guys know I'm not a huge neo-prog guy. That second wave didn't hit me that hard. During the 80s, I'd kind of checked out of prog. I kept an eye on what bands were doing, but my heart was elsewhere. IQ was one of those bands that I always did like and followed their career throughout the 80s and 90s. But yeah, Road of Bones is everything. It's a solid record from start to finish. The bonus disc is as good as the main disc. I just can't get enough of this record. It came out 8 years ago and I'm still listening to it on a regular basis. If I ever want to listen to IQ, Road of Bones 9 times out of 10 is what I'm pulling out. I just really, really like it. But that is my brief wrap up of the year 2014. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you're having a great day. It's my wife's birthday this week, so I might not do a whole lot this week, depending on, how good I am about getting everything ready. Tomorrow night, I'm getting with Notes Reviews. The Great Notes Reviews. If you haven't checked out their channel, you really need to. We are doing a collaboration video, Notes and I, on ranking the studio albums of The Tangent. Oh, that's going to be a whole lot of fun. They got a new album coming out next month. I've had it for a couple days, and I can't wait to dig in and talk about that with you guys and with Notes fans over there. Anyway, I am Scott. That was 2014. That was fun, wasn't it? I'll see you guys soon. Blessings. I love you. Peace out.